Hey guys, I just want to take a few minutes to do a quick midterm review and talk about some class updates and talk about the final exam and talk about the final essay, just to give you a little bit of a heads up on what's coming up. Okay? So, if at any time you need to stop the video, do so. I suggest you kind of have your planner out with you. Just so you can make sure things are matching up and adding up. And as always, email me if any of this is confusing to you. So, first things first, your midterm is next week. And so what I want to do now is talk a little bit about that. So the midterm is due March 12th at 11:59 p.m. That is Thursday. I will post the midterm exam on the afternoon of Monday, March 9th. I'll email everyone in the class once the exam is posted, so be checking your email that day. You will have until 11:59 p.m. on March 12th to complete the exam and turn it in. That gives you 3 full days to take the exam. Okay? The exam will consist of IDs, short answer, and long answer. And you're just going to have to type it up in Word and upload it to turn it in via Blackboard. And I'll show you how to do that at the end of this video. Also, remember to sign up for your midterm review next week, because the review is worth 50 points. Your grade book will call it a conference, but if I say conference or if I say midterm review, it's kind of the same thing. Okay, at the midterm review, we're going to meet for about 15 minutes, and during our meeting, we're going to talk about your progress so far, we're going to talk about how you're liking the class, and we're going to talk about any questions you have about the class. So make sure you come prepared to just kind of talk to me. View the sign-up sheet attached on Blackboard, and I'll show you where it is, and just email me your top 3 meeting dates and times, and I'll kind of make the schedule work. Okay, let's talk about some schedule grade changes. So your final essay that's due on the last day of class used to be worth 200 points. I've now made your final essay worth 100 points. So now the question becomes, well, what happened to the other 100 points? The answer, conferences. You now have 2 15-minute conferences with me. One is going to be next week during the week of midterms, where we're going to talk about your progress in the class. The other is during the week of finals. We're going to talk about your final essay. You should have your topic by then. You should know pretty much what you're writing by then. Okay, but those conferences are just my way of gauging where you are in the class and how you're handling things. If you are in Alva, you should come to my office for your conference. If you are not in Alva, we will set up a Zoom meeting for your conference. Okay, so just a heads up about that. Next, I want you all to start thinking about your final essay. Your essay is due May 1st at 11:59 p.m. It is worth 100 points. For undergraduates, it has to be 6 to 8 pages long in MLA8 format. You must have 6 to 8 scholarly sources, and it will investigate how specific cultural events change the English language in either the US or the UK, but not both. Your essay is going to be turned into Blackboard, and again, I'll show you how to do that. And we're going to discuss the parameters. It says at a later date, but we're actually going to talk about it now. For my graduate students, your essay has to be 8 to 10 pages long. And that means you get to use 8 to 10 scholarly sources. Let's talk about this essay. The essay must be 6 to 8 pages long. It must be in MLA format. It must have 6 to 8 scholarly sources. Unless you're a grad student, then it's 8 to 10. And it must investigate a cultural event. What I've given you are some possible topics. So you could talk about Caxton's introduction of the printing press to England. You could talk about the development of the King James Bible. You could talk about the publication of newspapers in Restoration and early 18th century England. You could talk about Johnson's publication of the first comprehensive English dictionary. You could talk about the invention of the telephone. You could talk about the BBC, British Broadcasting Company, transmitting programs around the empire. You could talk about the U.S. entering World War II. You could talk about the British Empire transferring sovereignty or recognizing the independence of its last colonies / protectorates. You could talk about text messaging. Or you could talk about something like Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone being published. All I want you to do is find how some major cultural event, and all of these listed are cultural events, how did it change the English language in either the United States or in Great Britain? In 6 to 8 pages or 8 to 10 pages. Okay. There is a rubric for this essay, but it was too long to put on Blackboard. It's on, or too long to put on this PowerPoint. It's on Blackboard. And we're gonna look at Blackboard after this, so I'll show you where the rubric is. So let's talk about the final exam. The final exam is also due May 1st at 11:59 p.m. So you have an exam and an essay both due at the same date at the same time. So you want to really pace yourself that week. That's also why I want you to start thinking about your final essay now. That way you can start looking up your research. You can start kind of outlining what you think you want to explore. Okay? Because I don't want you all emailing me at 10 p.m. on May 1st going, I have no idea what's happening, because I'm not going to check my email. Okay, I'm joking. I will. Your final exam is going to be a 3 to 5 page reflection essay based on a prompt given. Minimal research will be required. In fact, I'm going to ask you to not do any research for it, right? I want your thoughts on a particular thing. The essay is going to be turned in to turn it in via Blackboard, and you'll be given a more specific prompt and guideline the week of. It says the week before. It's going to be the week of the exam. Okay, so now what I want to do is talk about how to use Turnitin, which you're going to have to use for your midterm, your final, and your essay. Okay, what is happening? Nope, going the wrong way. All right, so we're on Blackboard now, okay? We're in week 7, and everything's normal for week 7. You don't have to do any outside work. Next week, or I guess that's this week. This week, we're in week 8 then. Remember, here's the sign-up sheet. You're going to click there. The sign-up sheet is going to pop up. Just pick a few times that works for you. If none of these times work for you, email me and let me know, and I'll see what I can kind of manipulate. So that's this week. Next week, week 9, if you click on it, you'll see our to-do list. Your midterm review, that's your meeting with me at various times this week. I'm going to post the schedule here once everyone has signed up. Your midterm exam is going to go here. I'm not going to put it up now because I don't want you guys to look at it early. But when I do put it up, this is where it's going to go. And you're going to turn it in here. So you're going to click on View Assignment. You're going to click on Submit. Okay, it has to be a file upload. If you're working in something like Google Docs, you're going to have to download the essay as a Word document and then upload it. Your name is going to be here. Sorry, Taylor, your name is the first one that popped up. You're going to have to give it a title. It could be something like Essay 1. You're going to choose the file, so wherever you saved it, upload it from there, right? Just like that. And you don't see it on here, but you all will also have a button that says something to the effect of, I certify that this is my work and I didn't cheat or whatever. You're going to turn it in, you're going to hit submit, and you should see a receipt. If you don't see a receipt, let me know. Okay? So all of that is under week 9. Now, I said I was going to talk a little bit about the final exam and the final essay. If you look, you'll notice that under week 16, I've kind of built those out as well, because for week 16, all you're doing is the final essay and the final exam and our final review meeting. Remember, our second conference. So final essay information is here. This is the same information that was on the PowerPoint, but now you have it in front of you in case you want to like print this out and look at it. Here's our rubric. It breaks down our grading system. So a 100 to a 90 is an A, an 89 to an 80 is a B, but it talks about what you need to do in order to get full credit. So to get a 100 to a 95, your paper draws the reader in with finesse. It demonstrates your engagement with the text from the outset. You have an appropriate level of background information. Analysis of the primary text is insightful. You use the full number of sources. It's sophisticated. It has a critical understanding of the text and its context. It's just a good paper. So read the rubric, read the guidelines, email me if you have any questions about the essay. Final exam, that same information here. When it's ready for the prompt to go up, I'm going to put it here. Okay. And then at the bottom, you're going to turn your essay in here, and you're going to turn your final exam here. And they all look the exact same way. You click on the link, you click submit, you give it a title, you check the button here, you choose the file. Same way for all 3 assignments. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know. I hope this is not as confusing as it is in my head. In my head, I'm like, this is going to confuse them. I hope it didn't confuse you. Let me know if it does. As always, have a great day, and I'll see you guys later.